All right, so we're going to get to my stuff last. Let's do Michael's stuff first. There's so much going on. Trump switched his rally to May Day, and we've been over it like there's 55,000 movies with May Day in the title. And I've got some prep to do. I need to load up everything I said I would load because I work Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. So always get back with y'all. Then usually work out Thursday night. And then do a big one with y'all Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, and even Tuesday. But I go pretty much dormant Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I think the timing is perfect. There's so much going on right now. All right, I just spent about 30 minutes redoing a new spreadsheet to get everything ready for y'all. So get everything cleaned up. And Michael, just for your information also, I took off anything where it includes both dates and I put it on the date where we're adding to the date, always knowing we can back one up, and we back it up on the main chart. But on the alpha, I don't have it like that, but we will be able to look, since they're in alphabetical order, we can look at the next day and know that we can back it up a day. So we know that there is a new moon taking place. Let's take a look at that. So the new moon took place, oh, dadgummit. The new moon took place 1627, so 427, excuse me, tomorrow, Saturday, April 30th, there is a new moon taking place. And Beltane is right at, see, I think, and Michael does too, we know May Day is big, but May Day is any day in May, theoretically, but the May 1st May Day is big. But Michael and I think we both agree that it's in second place to the May 16th total lunar eclipse event day for the Antichrist, deadly wound, and him rising on the third day on the 18th. And we're going to show you all that. So the new moon is tomorrow at 4:27 p.m. And there's also a partial solar eclipse. Now, once an eclipse takes place, a clock sort of starts ticking afterwards. Look out for events. Now, events might start up immediately. Could start up on Saturday, Saturday night, Sunday. Trump, his rally is moved from Friday night. Tonight, it was moved due to weather to May 1st. And we think that's big. And we think that is totally planned out. And so when you then move this over to May, and you get this, we're still in our Eastern time zone, right at midnight, 13 minutes after midnight on May 16th on a Monday, we get a total lunar eclipse. It will be in the sign of Scorpio, as the Taurus sun is almost at its end. The eclipse takes place almost at the end of Scorpio's lunar run, because the moon will be in Scorpio from 6:34 a.m. on the 14th, then the 15th, and then it changes at 7:51 a.m. and moves to Sagittarius. So about 7 hours before the moon will change from being in the sign of Scorpio to Sagittarius, we get that total lunar eclipse. In other words, I don't know. I think you're following along. Without visuals, I'm a visual learner, and these are just some things I cannot give you visually. I just have to say it. So let's go to the chart. So we did have everything the 29th and him rising on the 1st, but now we were going to look up Beltane, weren't we? What day is Beltane? Sunday, May 1st. The new moon has already gone into effect. They celebrate Beltane, which is also the opposite of November 1st, which is when they're celebrating Day of the Dead, the Celtic New Year. What day is the Celtic New Year? Celtic New Year, October 31st. It is held on November 1st, beginning on the evening of October 31st. So see, there's no April 31st. So really it's an April 30th to November 1st movement, which is right in line with this new moon. And so we think from new moon to full moon is going to be really the culmination. We say this potentially. We don't know that anything's going down for sure, but the way things are lining up, this is what we're eyeballing right now at the present time, that the spiritual event will kick off at the new moon and the actual physical event will culminate at the full moon. All right, so I got up to handle some business. Not really sure what I said last, but let's just look at what's in red covering the 3-day events, which of course can cover 4 days because we can always back a day up. We have the December 4th, 2021 total solar eclipse that just took place. Okay. That's basically going from one eclipse to the other on the 30th, but this is a total solar. This is the last total solar before the next total solar, which we believe is the abomination of desolation on Hitler's birthday on April 20th, 2023. That's when we think Trump will return seemingly from the dead to the world. That hits on May 1st. So if he was to go down at his event, you've got that. You've got iPet Goat 2, YouTube date is July 3rd, 2012. That hits on that day. You got the release date of Spectre, which I watched last night or over the last 2 nights, May 1st. Those 3 events are May 1st. So an eclipse is associated with iPet Goat 2 and James Bond. Then you get into I'll leave that out. You get into July 5th, 2020. This was the penumbral lunar eclipse I think that Michael was talking about. Hang on just a second, I'm boiling water. All right, so we got that because Michael said it was 2020. Michael took action in his life right at that July 4th. Was there a July 4th? Let's just look at 2020. Whoops, what did I do? Goofball. Sorry, I'm a little hard on myself. Well, where in the heck is it? Where the eclipse? Oh, I put them into E, so it would be short. Let's look at 2020. Michael really felt very strongly about something, and to me, that really matters. And it was that penumbral lunar eclipse. That was the Bok full moon of 2020, and it's 660 days. And what I want to do, I think this is where we count days. Yeah, let's go back today and subtract 666 days. Yeah, it's May 1st, is it, Michael? It was July 5th. I think if we include both dates, does that get us there? So it was that July 5th. I'm telling you, Michael, the Lord had really spoken to Michael about, now didn't have yet today's discernment, but it matters. Anything that we do, anything the Lord does to us church members, look at it as if you include both dates. Okay, so May 1st, Michael, it's 666 days from an event that Michael shared with me where they were like, you know, looking at getting in the RV and like really getting isolated. The Lord had really put it in his heart to do something that didn't turn out, but he was spooked. And y'all know I get spooked too. I got really spooked when I got on that 22196 day. And there's a lot to that too. Golly, there's something to that. I don't know if I remember to share it. Hang on. The Mayday friend that I know, that's what it was. Remember, she was 13463. Well, me and Trump combined. Okay, 1.63464 times me. My Mayday friend turned 13463 days. 33 days later, I turned that many days, and 33 days later, we have a total lunar eclipse. That's why, that's one big reason I think it's that day when he goes down. Now let's just add these two together. Let's add 13463 plus 22196. And I was a little astounded. 13463 plus 22196. That's the bride number. When you look at bride in Strong's Concordance, bride Strong's Concordance, you get the 3565. And so is that talking now about the bride of Christ? Because I don't think that person is my bride. I'm sure anything in the world is possible. Shared a lot of things with Michael concerning a lot of different stuff. But let's just say, I mean, that's big, right? Big, big, big bride of Christ. Because the Great Tribulation, the book of Revelation being opened up is for the church. Keep in mind, there's a lot of different things that can be taking place sort of simultaneously. So May 1st, when we get to this July 5th penumbral lunar eclipse, we back it up a day and it lands on May 1st. Earl's daughter's mom. Hang on just a second. Yeah, okay. In the Skyfall, you could back it up a day, and Skyfall would land on May 1st, which is also Spectre's day without backing it up a day. Or they're a day apart. Spectre and Skyfall. Now, Skyfall was the movie right before Spectre, but they're both falling right on this date, which to me, it's all about this solar eclipse new moon that's leading to the full moon, which is when we get to the no time to die, which now let's get to the, well, let's finish up. What's the last one? The January 12th, my Mayday friend and my stepdaughter had that anomaly where the amount of days apart I am with both of them, they both became with each other the opposite days alive. So my Mayday friend became my stepdaughter's days apart number from me, that's how many days alive she was, and vice versa. It was a freaky anomaly. And Michael was like, no, it's crazy. And I was like, this is crazy. And so that day is January 12th, 2022. And that hits on May 3rd. And it was a crazy anomaly. And that's pretty much it. We don't have anything for May 4th, nothing for May 5th, nothing for May 6th. Then we start to get into some May 7th items that we'll get to later when those days get near us. But look how much more red there are. The red here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, how many we got over here? Because we're weighing the balances, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 items are falling into this 3-day period. Remember, it is a 3-day period of dying and rising. The dark night, which is all about the darkened right eye of the Antichrist, the darkened night. Donnie Darko, Donnie darkened, the darkened night, because the Antichrist has his right eye utterly darkened. Out of Zechariah 11:17. And these dates, this May 16th date, transfers over to 37 progressions. If we go to May 16th, and land on November 17th. It's 185 days exactly, which is divides perfectly 5 times. It's 5 progressions of 37. So that, in our greatest opinion, is the continuous 37 progressions that we will continuously look at the biggest for an event date. You got June 22nd. You got July 29th. You've got September 4th. And you've got October 11th. So those are all the dates where it'll be part of that 3-day period. Rising, because the Dark Knight Rises came out 2 days later, on the 3rd day after the Dark Knight. Rises from the pit. The Dark Knight, 2 days later, the Dark Knight Rises, or on the 3rd day, the Dark Knight Rises. So we know it's going to be a 3-day event. And if y'all been with me for this whole time, well, we've been tracking this, y'all know I've always thought it was going to be on the 3rd day. And then I started looking at, well, maybe it's 42 days because Jesus didn't ascend, and it says ascend out of the bottomless pit. But we have to go back to the way they're doing it. Dark Knight Rises on the 3rd day, boom. And Jesus ascended into heaven. We know the Antichrist would not be ascending to heaven. He would just be rising, seemingly, from the dead. Now, that's not the abomination of desolation. That's when he just becomes the Antichrist and goes into perdition. Hey, it's 11:17, y'all. Ooh, got that 7-Eleven with it, too. That was sweet. Thank you, Jesus. Hey, we're just having fun here. This is just pure speculation here, folks. I pray to the Lord to give us discernment to be able to give the church the date to prove his glory. Not my glory, not Michael's glory, not your glory, the Lord's glory. In through the church that we do teach the truth here concerning his word. So all the things that are taking place on May 16th through these 37 progressions without backing one up. Now, I went by Michael's emails when I loaded these, unless Michael specifically said, including both dates, I just put the date down. So that's for you to know, Michael, too. When you send me an email that it lands on this date, only when you say including both dates do I count it as including both dates. And I'll pop it up one more. Always knowing we can back it up one. See, these 2/17ths can back up to the day he goes down. Straight up. And the 19th can back up to the day that he rises. But don't forget, you got a Porsche 911 and a Porsche 718. And the Dark Knight came out on 7/18, July 18th. So, boy, are they ever telling all of us that it's a 3-day event. Now, on the 16th, when we suspect he goes down, it's a progression from I am the chosen one, when he made that statement. The December 14th total solar eclipse and the Pokey Poke event release date of the first Pokey Poke, when the woman threw out the divine feminine hand signal. Obama's birthday and everything was all about when Trump first started making headlines about making a run. It was all about Obama's birth certificate. It's also the Godfather release date. It's also the Omen release date. And if you want to back up 2 dates, Trump announcing he had it, the illness, and the track down episode of when he gets popped. Fascinating. Rising on the 3rd day, or rising on May 18th, it is the 7/11, which that's the Bible verse, 11/7, 7/11, because remember, dates can be flip-flopped because some countries, our country is the unique one. Most all the other countries write it the opposite. They would write July 11th as 11/7. So it's the solar eclipse of 11/7, or the 11th day of July. Solar eclipse. Was it total or not? Let's check. That year there were no totals. They were both partials. Okay. Hang on, I ain't seeing no. It's because I didn't click it. Okay, yeah, 7/11. It was a total. You got to write that down, dude. Total's big. So, sorry to confuse y'all there. This is a lot. This is a live show. We can't go back and edit. So, 7/11, 2010, total solar eclipse. 11/7. Revelation 11/7 is the beast rising. Okay, now this will be a spiritual rising. It's not like Trump's going to be let down into a pit. I do not believe. If his clone gets popped, is he already at the North Pole going through some ritual where they're melting the North Pole? I mean, is there a real abyss there, like a real hole in the center? Very, very easily could be. That has been frozen over. The waters would start to rise immediately from that, I believe, which is why it shows New York underwater, which is pretty fascinating to think about. That potentially in 2 or 3 weeks, this whole earth could be turned upside down because of him going down on the 16th and then him rising. Should we change the color? Because, you know, like they do in their, yeah. So for the blood, track down, and then him rising, total solar eclipse of 7-11, which signifies rising from the abyss. Now we think it's a spiritual rising, where Santa, Satan, Satan, Santa, same letters, North Pole, where Trump will be indwelt with the spirit of Satan. And that's why when you see him coming out in IPEC Goat 2, the abyss is like a frozen, blocked ice hole that he's rising out of, which was totally the opposite of the Dark Knight Rises. It was like, you know, in the heat. Doesn't matter. Point is, he is going to then rise on the third day. That hits on May 18th. So does Back to the Future being released on a serious, the Dog Star type of day, July 3rd, which is when IPEC Goat also was posted on YouTube on July 3rd. July 3rd, July 4th, that's usually when Sirius, the Dog Star, goes dormant. So Back to the Future releases on 7/3/1985. That is also a May 18th date, which the 37 progressions land on. The Dark Knight Rises release date lands on that date. No Time to Die release date lands on that date, which is all about rising from the abyss, the solar eclipse. The Dark Knight Rises. Hey, it's no time to die. I've risen. Ain't no time to die. I'm risen. So Back to the Future, well, you can just, you could think of that a lot of different ways, that he is he is going back to the future, which is now to take part in what was written back at the beginning, the end times book of Revelation, which is about the future, events that have not yet occurred. So he's back, and now he's going to the future. He's going to fulfill those future events of the book of Revelation that have been written, that were written way back, right? So there's a lot of different ways to look at that. Quantum Leap episode called It's a Wonderful Leap also connects to that date. And then something in my personal life, which there's no reason to even speak to that really. And so there you go. This is the main page where I have to redo and put everything in alphabetical order, but this is the one that we use for visuals here. And that's kind of where we're at. We think we're just that many days away. So from Trump going down, well, really, if we were to put it on the 16th, well, we think we're 17 days away from the event, and the clock's about to hit midnight in 30 some odd minutes. You know, we'll be 16 days away. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy to look at it like that, but it is more than possible. And it could happen along any of these progression dates, okay? Add 37, add 37, add 37. It could happen. But I told Michael today, to me, the biggest reason why we would think it would be now is because you're getting a new moon to full moon. at this whole Beltane festival to the event times. And it's not just a new moon to full moon, it's a partial solar eclipse to a total lunar eclipse time frame also. It's just big. You're not going to get all that again. So let's get on with Michael's prep. Not that all of this hasn't been about Michael's prep, because it's his research that's given us all this. So you've heard me reference the Dan Scavino's tweets previously, because he gave us the clue of the illness situation. On 3/11, I'll forward you that tweet in the next email. Now, I ran that and loaded it. Yeah. His most recent tweet uses the 5/31/2017. And Michael, what's crazy, I think it's crazy, we're all crazy, is I loaded a Dan Scavino's tweet. In 4 days, boom, per Dan Scavino's tweet of March 7th, 2020. So 4 days before the big event of March 11th, 2020, he made a tweet 4 days prior. You know, he made it on March 7th, so that's 7th, and then it happened on the 11th, 7/11. But that hits on May 30th, which means the boom would be June 3rd, which is interesting because that's the halfway point between me and May Day. We're 8,700 days apart, and the halfway point was of my age to her age was June 3rd, 1973. 4,350 days. It's June 3rd, 1973. So, you know, it's just a cipher that I look at. No one has given us an answer of the meaning of that. Yeah, we will see. I think I might have already have read these to y'all. That Scavino, I can't remember where I left off with Michael's, because I had loaded. I made some of them unread because I started because I was loading everything to the spreadsheet. I was going past his old emails, getting the spreadsheet caught up. I told y'all I would load all of his information. So there's the one that I loaded that I just told y'all about. I did load this Octopussy release 6/6/1983. That's 1/4/208 days prior to 4/29, including both dates. So I made it hit on the 30th, always knowing we can back it up a day. And there it is, the Octopussy release date on April 30th. And can back it up to the 29th of today, of course. Sammy Davis Jr. was famous for having one good eye and one glass eye. He supposedly died on May 16th, 1990. From his birthday on December 8th, 1925 to May 16th is, May 16th, 2022 is a 3-5-2-2-4 or 952 progressions of 37. So Sammy Davis also hits on May 16th. And Sammy Davis, all about the eye. Okay. I think it was his left eye that was the glass eye. Sammy Davis Jr. did a movie called Poor Devil, which had Adam West of Batman, which me and Michael have surmised is definitely a Adam and Eve, the whole Batman and Robin, Adam and Eve kind of scenario. Adam West, there's East of Eden movies. The Bible speaks of east of the Garden of Eden. There was a movie called East of Eden, just like there was the movie called All About Eve. And of course, Adam West was in this movie, poor devil, because in their world, Satan gets the bad rap because all he did was save mankind and give man knowledge. That's what's taught in all of the mystery religion views. I forgot to mention in the previous email regarding Poor Devil starring Sammy Davis Jr. that the second name billed is Adam West. In this photo, we have Sammy Davis Jr. with the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey. As a reminder, the Church of Satan was founded on April 30th, 1966. There's that 66, which also in 1966 was when Batman, the television show, came out, through 68. And Trump's grandmother, Elizabeth Christ Trump, was reported to have died on 6/6/1966. Good stuff there, Michael. He and I talked about all this on the phone on the way to work. One darkened eye, and of course that one's the left eye again, and head cocked to the side like a sniper looking through a rifle at the targeted America symbol. Captain America symbol, by the way. And who's Captain America? Well, it's Donald Trump, man. Trump is Captain America. Good stuff, Michael. Thank you. Blue and gold card, just looking at the 88 related news link. And by the way, I'm watching Paul Feinbaum TV show. And I told this to Michael. I said, I'm looking at it. It's the same colors as the Rams. SEC logo. See, the SEC logo and the SEC network logo and the Paul Feinbaum logo, it's all about the Rams colors. Los Angeles Rams. So it's the colors that are significant. And I think back to that song, and Jamie would know it too. I don't think Jamie follows us anymore, or she's just laying low. She might not like some things we're doing. I don't know. I don't hear from her anymore. Give me silver, blue, and gold, the colors of the sky, I'm told. My rainbow is overdue. Give me silver, blue, and gold, the color of the sky, I'm told. My rainbow is overdue. Lyrics. The name of the song is Silver, Blue, and Gold. Now, in the beginning, I believed every word that you said. And this is probably Satan talking to God, or people talking about the church. And they feel their true church, of course, is the mystery religion churches. Now that you're gone, my world is in shreds. Oh, you loved me and left me. You look at all the things that I needed so bad. I'm standing here wondering, where is the love that I had? Oh, give me silver, blue, and gold, the color of the sky. Gets back to that nature thing. My rainbow is overdue. So I don't know. I don't know what it's about. It just popped in my head. And their songs have double meanings, as we know. So Blue Gold Cars 88. The Hunger Games film, the premiere for the Hunger Games was March 12th and 2012. And from that date to April 29th, it's at 3,700 days. Perfect. Wow. Landed right on today. And we'll be progressing that date for sure. I can put that in there and add it. And this one I probably will. Mark as unread and keep rolling. That'll remind me to go. Parallax view is another one probably to track. The parallax view was coincidentally released on Trump's birthday. It's about a politician getting popped at the Seattle Space Needle. And I talked to Michael about that again recently. 6/14/1974. From that date to the 14th is exactly 473 progressions of 37, 175.01. There's that 501, that Mayday. By the way, Trump going down on the 16th, that's the 136th day of the year. And we all know that 36 is the number, is the triangular number for 666, as 8 is the triangular number for 36. And my number, 7 times 6 times 1961, has an 8 to TO, 8 to 36 to, well, of course, to 666. My number just seems to be coded with all of it. My son has a 36 in his number. The maid of honor, my son was my best man in my wedding to Candy, second wife. Her matron of honor, because she was married, had a 36 in her number. She was 8 times 1 times 1967. Well, that's me and her combined. I'm sorry. 8 times 1 times 1967. She had a 36 in her number. So the best man, the groom, and the matron of honor all had a 36. And of course, when Candy marries the guy she's engaged to, it will be his 36. You know, just foreshadowing, foretelling is just remarkable. She's been engaged to this guy. His next marriage progression is 36, and that would be her. I always feel like she has to get married in and at or around or after Trump going down. And we've been over that before. But I want you to look at the divorce date of Candy and I. 8. It's Groundhog Day. 2 times 2 times 2009. It's got the 8 and the 36 in it. You can't make it up. 8 over 36, I call that. That's what I call it. Oh. And which is fascinating, right? Oops. Anytime you get a single digit followed by a 0 at the beginning, I always times it by 7154, which spells God. And there's 89, her next marriage progression sitting right there. But if you go, so you see the 8 and the 36. Well, I thought, what if you do 8.36 and times it by Trump? 1.63464 is his number. 6 times 14 times 1946. Look what you get. You get 136. What's the 136th day of the year? Well, when we think he's going down. May 16th is the 136th day of the year. And you times Trump times the 836, and you get 136 as the first 3 digits. It's just fascinating. And it's fused with 66, which is the book of Revelation. It's the 66th book of the Bible. It's fascinating. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. So parallax view. Should we track it, Michael? Or since it's bunched in with so many others, not? I'll mark it as unread and keep moving. Soylent Green release 4/19/1973 was set in the year for 2022. This needs to be tracked. The release date, when including both dates. Okay, so I need to make sure. So that's really hits on 4/28. Mark unread, keep going. Good stuff, Michael. Good research. Trump won the 2016 election, which was held on 88. Don't forget, there's a full moon on that this year, y'all. Oh, it's a total lunar eclipse. There's two total lunar eclipses this year. Two total lunar eclipses. May 16th, when we think he's going down. And right up across the pond from May is November. November 8th, 88. I mean, boy, I tell you what. It's crazy, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. There's two full moons that fall on 88s. August 11th and November 8th. The beauty of that is the August 11th one is also in Sirius, the dog star rises. And the other one is not just a full moon, it's a total lunar eclipse. So, wow. What's in between all that? Well, October 2nd is. So is the month of September. Lots to look forward to if nothing does go down. We're going to track everything. Nobody else is doing what we're doing, especially when it comes to teaching the word of God properly also. Now, this election day, what was it? Hang on. You do get the uniqueness of on election day to May Day tomorrow or 2 days from now. Sorry. Whenever you're seeing this, it'll be tomorrow. So let's just go with that. If you include both dates, election day to May Day, you do get the 2001. Yeah, you know. But yeah, that whole 836-666 thing. That's a pretty freaky deaky deal, man. Let's keep going. Trump winning the election, we should probably track that, right? Would that be an assassination type date to track? I don't know. I don't want to fill it up too much. You know what I mean? Michael, let me know how you feel about that. If it's something we should track or not. If it's just interesting, or is it something we should really track? Because I'm good either way with it. World War Z, which one thing Michael and I were talking about was if he were to go down on May Day, does World War, Z, or the World War begin? And see, the World War Z was about an illness. And we know World War III will be about war. I will tell you also, and illness. They're going to crank it up. And everybody that's got it in them, that's connecting them to the tech, they're going to get blasted. They're going to get heated up pretty badly. That will affect, I think, our God-given breathing apparatus to blood, lungs, heart, all that. So World War Z, which did premiere on June 2nd, 2013. And from that date to May 1st, so we're not including both dates, it hits right on May Day. It's very interesting. If he goes down on the 16th, that next progression might be when World War III would begin. Because not only will you get tsunamis and earthquakes and flooding, automatically, of course, electricity out, blamed on whatever reason you want, and grids, electricity, but if they crank up the tech and make people very ill, and can they crank up the tech with the electricity being out? In other words, do those towers need electricity to work, or do they have its own system set up with them? I don't know. So they turn it up, crank it up, and then turn the electricity off, turn it back on, turn it off. We're working on it. You know, we're getting attacked. We're losing power here. You know, it's to me, they will always come back on and off with it so they can keep giving you the narrative of WW3. So 28 days later, a movie released on 6/27/2003 from that date to 4/29. So yeah, 28 days later, it just kind of makes you feel like 28. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once he goes down, there's going to be, the clock's going to start ticking on tsunami, illness, power grids, bombs, waters rising, earthquakes, you name it. Total catastrophe. The Truman Show, that hits on May Day. Enough is enough. Had it in a headline. Now, this Qasem Soleimani, the bumped off general, is linked to 4/29. From Soleimani's birthday on 3/11. Yes, March 11th. To 4/29. Avenging the Blood article about Soleimani and Trump from last week. So it's still a real thing that's in play. When did Soleimani go down? Wasn't it on like a January 3rd thing? Yes, Michael put it there. January 3rd, 2020. Let's track that. I want to track that. That hits on May 3rd and exactly 851. 23 times 37 is 851. So that's something we can track. When he went down. By the way, you want to know something I need to do is go change all these dates to proper dating in Excel, and they'll sort properly for me. You ought to see the process I go through to get all these put in properly. Yeah, so Soleimani does fall. We can add it. Yep. Well, that raises the score from 9 to 12, doesn't it? Anyway. I didn't do his birthday though, Michael. I did it from the event date of it. And let me know if you want me to track both. So Avenging the Blood comes to Donald John Trump. Good stuff, Michael. Enough is enough. Glad he thought to look at this, right? 88 MPH, assassination, 1946, economic collapse, Los Angeles Rams. In parentheses, Michael says, they show up in every targeted search. And this year is the first Super Bowl that they won as the Los Angeles Rams. Eclipse sacrifice. Oh, eclipse sacrifice. It's a total lunar eclipse when we think he's going down, right? 322, which is in the middle of Trump and I's combined number. You got to love that. Ritual assassination, rider on the white horse, and resurrection. His resurrection is when he becomes rider on the white horse, when his crown is given to him. It's really when he rises, I think, is kind of the crown. But we will know we're living in the book of Revelation when it's announced Trump's gone down, or, you know, if we're actually watching the rally on Sunday night. We shall see, right? I think I'll be sleeping. Yeah, I'll be asleep for that rally. I'll be getting up early Monday morning. That's as I'm flipping my hours around, like I got up at 8 tonight. Since I work nights and I just start, because I like to go to bed when I want to, and that's just kind of how it works. When I go to bed when I want to, the clock will always, my going to sleep time always is about 4 or 5 hours later each day. Circadian rhythm, don't really have one. Not really that worried about it. Olympus Has Fallen. You got to really track that title, don't you? 3/18/2013. When you include both dates, lands on 4/29. So really it's landing on 4/30. Olympus Has Fallen. Runtime was 119. That's definitely one to track. Mark as unread and keep rolling. Let me see. Day after May 18th. Let me make sure that these are working too. Yes, when I mark them as unread and roll forward, they are working. It is working like that, so that's good. So the day after May 18th, one of the most watched non-sports television event of all time, it depicted a nuclear exchange between NATO and the Soviet Union. Lawrence, Kansas is one of the two settings of the film. Again, the Kansas Jayhawks show was, aired 11/20/1983. My son was less than a month old by 2 days. From that date, 5/18/2022, including both dates, 14060, that's 380 progressions up 37. So that's right there to 5/18. So that kind of tells you a war kicks off on the third day, doesn't it? Yeah. It's fascinating stuff there. The Omega Man was really, I've got that movie. I haven't watched it yet. Should I watch it, y'all? It's just DVD sitting in my drawer. The Omega Man was released on August 1st, which is when I saw The Dark Knight on a total solar eclipse of 2008. Was it a total? I'm pretty sure it was total solar. Yeah, total solar eclipse. The following day, the boom. Yep. Ask Candy for a divorce. Well, told her we were getting a divorce. Talk about the boom on the next day. The Omega Man, 8/1/1971, from that date to 5/1/2022, including both dates. So we would really go up to May 2nd and keep following that progression. It's 501 progressions. That's a May Day number, 501. May 1st, 501 of 37 progressions. Wow. It could still happen. It could still happen on May 1st, folks. We haven't ruled it out. I just really like the 16th. And I know Michael really likes it too, but we both thought that them moving this to May 1st was big. Like he could really be going down. The Hunt for Red October was released on March 2nd, 1990. From that date to 5/18/2022, including both dates, is 11766. Wow. That's a crazy number. You take 11766 and divide it by the year I was born, 1961, you get the 6. So anybody's 6, like anyone born December 5th, 12 times 5 times 1961, you get that number. That's a very prevalent number. And if you just do 143 times my number, you get a couple ones, 4 7s, and then 2 6 6s. And remember, the 143 or the 1/4 tray was what my focus always was. And then I did 2 times God, and it came to 14308 because that was Earl's number. And when you start using that progression on one of them, you get my employee number, which is freaky, which really gave it credence to me. Anyway, so let's go 11. It's 318 progressions of 37. That's going to land on the 18th. The hunt for Red October. Yeah, we need to track that one. $38 is the murder code. 38 and 83. I watched the movie. I've attached the movie box cover for Murder by Numbers. The S and the RA, SRA. What is SRA? Sandra the man. I'm telling you, man. She's got it going on, man. My man. They have an E in the word murder represented as a backwards 3. They have the B in by and the B in numbers represented by 8. I've also attached a gematria screenshot that shows murder is 38 in reverse ordinal 83. Murder by numbers. A 3 and 8. And I told him that Earl was murdered at the address of 3803. What's really weird is when you take the address of 3803 with the zip code that it is currently times Earl's number 37044 because he was born 727 times 27 times 1960. You get 4. Candy's only been married twice, but you get 4 marriage numbers here, as if she would be married 4 times. You get 87. Remember, that's her original. You get 88. Remember, that was to me. You get 89. That would be to the next guy. And then you got a 90. How crazy is that? 87, 88, 89, and 90. And I've shown y'all how freakishly, I don't know. It's such a long story. But you do the 14308 times her, you get these marriage numbers. You do it times me, you get these marriage numbers, mine and hers. And then you combine me and her times the 14308, and you get the 90 and the 54, as if we were both be married 4 times. Remember, our combined number is 455-000-6328 times 14308. You get what would be my 4th marriage progression, 54, right next to hers, which is 90. That's just mind-boggling. If you do the 14308 just times me, you do get my 4th of 54, but that's just mine. And then you do hers, 5.5244 times 14308, and you get the 90, just hers. But you combine me and her, you get the 50. Crazy, right? And then you look at where Earl was murdered. Earl times that complete address. It shows both. Look at Candy times 14308. You get the 311. And that was my 2nd progression when I was married to her. You know, that was kind of the shot heard around the world with 86 and the 88 on Groundhog Day. And as I've told you, been reliving it ever since, but I've explained that many times anyway. Have I done Groundhog Day through the progressions, the divorce date? I think I've got the divorce date in the progressions. Let me double check. Yeah, that would hit on May 12th or May 11th. The Groundhog divorce date does. Number text to Trump is 88022 for the years 1988 and the year 2022. But 88, my marriage to Candy, 22, the divorce date of Groundhog Day, and in the middle, 802, when I sat her down on August 2nd, day after the total solar eclipse, told her I wanted a divorce. We were divorced exactly 6 months later on Groundhog Day, the 2nd. From the 2nd to the 2nd, August to February. So that's Trump's text number. Have you been trolled your whole life? Well, of course, we've shown you that. If you look at that date, yes, it's May 12th. Then it moves up to June 18th. Then it moves up to July 25th, which I think is an extremely high watch day because of the book of Daniel. It's Trump Tower's address, 725, where it speaks specifically in Daniel 7:25, shall wear out the saints of the Most High. Now, the passage is from 721 to 725, and the Trump Tower has actually 5 multiple addresses, which we've shown you many times. You could just Google that. Trump Tower has 5 multiple addresses, 721 through 725, and it will show it to you. But whenever you look for just one address, if you search the address, it will just give you the 725. If you search that it has 5 multiples, it will show you all 5 multiples, which matches, and again, a trump is a horn and a horn is a trump. And John 5:43, Jesus said the Antichrist would be here in his own name. So the 725 is so big because 727 is the length of IPEC GOAT. That means he would rise on a 3rd day, which is July 27th, which is fantastic because it's right before we all go back to work. School teachers, we get to enjoy our summer. Hilarious. A running joke. That'll be a big time to watch right there. I am not kidding you one bit. July 25th. And the fact that it's when I 86th the 88 Groundhog Day progression. It's just super big. If you keep going through the progressions, then it's August 31st. October 7th, which is an amazing date because it's a blood moon on October 9th. That's another big date to look for, October 7th. We're already watching for October 2nd, obviously, but there's November 13th. Rises on the 15th. The full moon is the 8th. And then December 20th. Anyway. Be rising on the 22nd, the rebirth of the sun, right? So these murder codes, fascinating. And you look at murder as the 79 there. Look at the day Earl was killed on, 5 times 8 times 1978. And there it is, the 79 and the 12. Jeez, I don't know why it always does that. But yeah, insane in the membrane. For Trump, May could be the cruelest month, it is said in DNYUZ 414-25-2126. And there's that shadow there. Man, there's a lot to that. Is this a tell for a soon future event? Yeah, Michael's really tracking these, the way the economy is moving. He keeps an eye on market action. It's been doing nothing but in a decline, which means it's like the clock is ticking down. I love that. Michael tracks that. So the Dow ended at minus 938.99. And the zip code is 93899. So in other words, if you flip flop the 3 and the 8 and turn the 6s upside down, 93899, 99, 998, 99389. So it's just kind of like backwards inverted. It's all pretty freaky stuff. Good. That was excellent find by Michael today. Talking about the zip code for Greenwood really matches what's going on with the Dow. So if Trump were to go down on May 1st, which this is what it kind of foreshadows, then, you know, him rising on the third day and all, that whole full moon lunar eclipse, I mean, is that his spiritual rising from the abyss and it's not really on the third day? Goes down on the new moon, rises on the full moon. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to look at stuff. That's kind of what we do. And your comments are coming, folks, because y'all have got some good comments. I might stop this video and call it early Saturday part 1, and then make another, which would be early Saturday part 2, which would be my prep and y'all's comments. That's probably what we should do, because this thing is well over an hour, guarantee it. The Trump rally has been moved from 429 to 5 day because of supposed bad weather. The 51 wins, the Celtics are playing the 51 wins Buck. They both have 51 wins, of course, signifying what? May 1st. It's good stuff. That's big stuff. Both teams feature green, which has been all about the goddess, the tree goddess, you know, the tanker that's always, you know, it's evergreen, green this, green that. Because they're all about Mother Earth, the mother goddess, the tree goddess. That's why it's a female angel on top of your pagan Christmas trees, even though there's no female angels in the Bible, because it's really about Lucifer, the goddess. Right, there's some 222 coding. With the 18. Nice. That is the end of Michael's prep. I will shut this down. Michael, this is outstanding work as usual. And if there's anything I said I wasn't going to track, it looks like I'm going to track Hunt for Red October, Olympus Has Fallen, World War Z, Soylent Green, because the movie was about 2022, The Parallax View, and The Hunger Games. If you want me to track anything more, you know I will, Michael. But those are the ones I definitely wanted to track for sure. And of course, you know, it's a big list, right? I mean, it's a huge list so far, but we like the huge list because when we do get to certain dates, it gives us a lot to look at. And we know the big wheelhouse is May 16th for him going down in each progression further, which does land on November 17th. We just think that's exponentially huge. May 16th is the date we have picked out in first place, but we cannot fall asleep. Don't sleep on May 1st. You just got to keep an eye on that date. And those two progressions, well, this to me is the main progression. But we're still going to keep an eye on May 1st. But this is the main progression. Just keep tracking, which does not match the tracking of my divorce date, 86 and the 88. So I don't know. There's a high possibility that what I should also do is track that October 2nd date, when I sat her down to ask for it, because that's the 802, which is in the middle of Text to Trump. It was a day after total solar. Yeah, I already had it in there, but it was coupled with 3 other things, so I put it down to 2. And Daniel Craig and Earl Wright's birthdays both hit on May 13th, which is when I sat her down and told her about a divorce that hits on May 13th. And May 12th is the 9/11/2001 event. It's my groundhog divorce date. It's the 9/11 event. And October 20th, 1978, when I scored my touchdown. And October 1st, when I saw the Dark Knight and a total solar eclipse. Yeah, like May 12th is off the charts big. This whole month is whacked out, man. It's just crazy. This whole month is just, there's just a lot going on. Israel's birthday is May 14th, when Trump turns 9/11 months old and Israel turns 888 months old, but they will both be that for a solid month. Through June 13th, they will be that. Whew, jeez. Just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. My mom died on May 6th. Dad was found and pronounced that he died on May 7th. Earl died on May 8th. So y'all know I'm looking at May 9th also, which is the track down when the episode occurred on May 9th. And it's also a solar eclipse date. It's also a lunar eclipse date. May 9th is just big. There's just big dates all through this. There's no other way to say it. But in first place is May 16th. In second place, we have to say Trump's event tomorrow, or tomorrow, May Day. But we'll get to this. That was basically Michael's prep and my add-ins. Next will be my prep and your comments. What does my prep look like? Which will also include some videos that I've uploaded to Telling Truth 3. It's quite the doozy. Yeah. Not as long as this one. I guarantee you it'll be 1/3 the length. All right. Love y'all very much. Michael, amazing work, sir. My friend. Good stuff.